What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I just got back to the room. The Vampire Stream. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Vampire Stream. So thirsty. I'm in Vegas. I'm gonna pack it up. Just wanna holler at y'all. The Vampire Stream. Gang. Make sure y'all smash the like button. We're gonna talk about some of that easy work. Gennady Golovkin. Some interesting choices. The USA got the strongest army, Ego Army. Oh yeah. Shout out to the United States. Shout out to the Warriors. When you guys come in and smash the like button, more likes, more people, more engagement, that kind of stuff. The longer I usually am able to stay on. But it gotta make sense to stay on. YouTube's taking forever to send out the notifications. Let's see what happens. Shout out to Brayon Thomas. What up? Man, we just talking boxing, you know. Man, Eagles Army, we on fire. I told you it's gonna be a good year for us, cause we worry about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You know what I mean? You know the opposite side, old media, all that dumb shit. They're gonna say the opposite. They're gonna say what they're saying is right. But you tell me. You tell me who won. I see them, they run. They gotta switch standpoints, switch arguments, switch sides, jump ship. We ain't gotta do that. We don't gotta do that at all. Same shit I've been saying, same stuff I'm saying now. They gotta go, they're forced to retreat. Listen to me. They're forced to retreat and regroup. When's the last time you seen me have to retreat and regroup with my talking points when it comes to talking this boxing? Like I said, my like let's say we'll use Golovkin because that's the title of this video. When is the last time that I've had to take a talking point about Gennady Golovkin, and I said, oh, I think his team should have handled this slightly different, and then a week later, a month later, you hear me say something totally opposite. When's the last time that's happened? I'll wait. I'll wait for it. You guys let me know when the last time that happened. It's 10:30 in the morning in the UK. Shout out to the UK. Listen, this is the Vampire Stream. Is everybody asleep? I'm the only one that don't sleep. Okay. Shout out to UK. What up, Cass? I'm trying to wake people up, but I guess everyone's asleep on this Friday. So if we can't get the Vampire Stream cracking, you know it's weird because throughout the either YouTube's not sending the notifications, or people really sleep because it's Friday. But throughout the week, it's like, do y'all stay up throughout the week and then go to sleep early on Friday? That's kind of weird. Yo, Ego, you coming to Dallas next week? I don't know, should I? Shout out to Errol Spence fight. Fans run the channel, so they usually decides everything. Um, is this choppy? Is the stream choppy to anybody? Can everyone hear the stream? Okay, so it's not choppy. I guess people are just sleeping. Or you? How did you guys get the notification? The people that are already in here. How did you guys get the notification? I haven't heard any updates about the Terrence Crawford horn gloves. I'm assuming since it didn't, I didn't really see anyone other than myself really reporting on it. So I'm assuming it got, because since nobody else picked up on it or said nothing, I'm assuming it got handled. Like, I don't know what the verdict was, but I think it would have made all the websites and stuff had it not gotten sorted out. So it's crazy. To me, I think Horn's team, they seem a little bit nervous because they seem out of character. Like I said, I don't. Gary Corcoran and Pacquiao, were they talking like this? I don't remember it. Thanks, I was on YouTube Ego and it popped up. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to contact YouTube because they be playing. They keep playing with this channel, like with these notifications. Like when I first started live streaming, I felt like there was never a problem. Like it would send out the notifications. YouTube been fucking up in general. Like I don't see how they're owned by Google, have this many millions and billions of dollars, and they don't get simple stuff. They said there's like a little notification, and it said your view counts were inaccurate for these 2 days in a row. I'm like, how? Why are the view counts inaccurate? I mean, YouTube's been around since like '06 or some shit. They can't even do something simple like notifications. You know what I mean? People want to talk this boxing. We round the clock with it. You know what I mean? But it has to be advantageous because I'm not, no offense to the people that are here, but I know people could catch the replay, but I got to get up early to go to the boxing gym. So I'm just doing this just on the strength of for the fans. But if we can't get it rocking, then I'm better off getting some sleep so I'm not all groggy and don't miss my appointment. But anyway, we'll just see where it goes. Ego, do you even sleep? I am sleep. I sleep talk. I do this in my sleep. But I do this in my slumber summer. This shit is easy. Easy money. Because I ain't lying. Should be hard if I had to make excuses and lie and change my story like old media has to do. It would probably be hard then. But I'm not doing that. So it's just not really something that's that challenging. I'm telling you, it's so much easier to be truthful than it is to just outright lie. I'm talking about like outright lie. And like I understand the game, I respect the game. Like if you have certain personal relationships, you don't want to go in, so to speak, go in, but you could still you could still speak your opinion in your mind without being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like you could give your like I could understand like more so someone not if they're real cool with someone not doing a fight prediction because that you know what I mean maybe someone if you're real cool with Keith Thurman and then you do an Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight prediction. Let's say the fight got signed. I mean, obviously, if you're real cool with Keith Thurman, you're going to want to be like truthful. If you really think Errol's going to knock him out, you're going to be like, oh, Errol's going to get you. So I can understand stuff like that, but they be lying. Like old media be lying about frivolous shit that they don't have to lie about, that they have to come back and like counteract and contradict. That's different, right? They gonna say, oh, new media is full of shit. They're lying. They're gonna try to find all kinds of ways to bamboozle it and make you believe that this shit ain't real. But like I said, do you believe in God and believe in Death Row East? It's absolutely real. You know what I mean? Death Row East believe in that. bro, if you keep it real, fans like that. Fans like the real. See, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I hear it all. Oh, you're full of shit. But then ask them, hey, what am I full of shit about? Name something I said that wasn't a fact. That was just an outright lie. And then they're in the hot seat. They don't say nothing. They just start saying mindless things, name call or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not out here doing that. I'm not out here trying to damage nobody's rep or shit on somebody. I'm here to talk boxing and be real about this. They're gonna tell you all types of stuff. Like, oh, he's not a real reporter. He he he's not a real reporter. He knows some people on the inside. Like, no, I don't know nobody. I came in this game blank canvas. I was If you watch my channel, I didn't have no connects. I established connects from networking and parlaying. I didn't have no exclusive access to a boxing gym, but I made motherfuckers feel me through my thoughts, through my insight, through my body of work. I let the work speak for me. I bet they're gonna offer Triple G 30% now. Hey, Fernando, what's popping? Yo, the people that are in here, make sure y'all smash the like button. The sooner you guys do that, the more people we get. Because, like I said, I got to get up and film. And if we can't get a little bit more engagement, then I have to go to bed. Because I'm not trying to, like, see, I'll take one for the team, but it got to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be at this boxing gym all tired, then have to cover a fight after. And then people are in here commenting, but you know what I mean? Not hitting the like button, then it's not even worth that. I can do a live stream tomorrow, well rested. But anyway, regarding this Triple G situation, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. Tough decisions for Triple G and his team. They got stripped. Like, here's an example. Some people out there are saying the IBF did something wrong to Triple G. Who believes that? Who believes that the IBF did something wrong against Triple G, that like he was done dirty or something by the IBF? Let's do a hot seat. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. Who believes that? Because you know I have an opinion. I want to hear what y'all think. Who believes that the IBF like was out to get Triple G and they did him shady? Yeah, I don't care about that, Philip. That don't matter. A lot of people hate, but unless they doing what I'm doing, then it don't matter. Triple G don't want to fight real competition unless he's getting paid. I was about time. I got a video coming on that, Nacho. It'll be up, and I get my thoughts. I mean, I don't have a problem with him being ranked because why would I have a problem with it? The only reason he dropped from the rankings, just like Luis Ortiz, was because he had a failed drug test. You know what I mean? He had a failed drug test, but then now he's doing a year-round test. Listen, okay, let's settle this right now with this Canelo shit. Canelo fucked up by having something in his system, not being cautious. We get it. Failed two. It simply wasn't a good look. It created some eyebrow raising. Some people still don't believe him. I get that whole scenario. But some of y'all motherfuckers, the comments, not you, I'm not talking to you, Nacho, but I'm just saying, like, some of the people, they're acting like, would you want him to be banned from boxing for life off of that? Like, you know what I mean? When, like I said, I don't know if he did it or he didn't do it. I don't. I simply don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he did or didn't do it. Maybe he was cheating his ass off. Maybe it was the meat. I don't really know because I'm not in that situation. But he's a first time offender, so you're probably not going to get blocked or banned for life for that, right? Everyone keeps bringing up the failed drug test. We get it. He failed the drug test. He ruined Cinco de Mayo, but he's back. You know what I mean? He's doing the year-round testing. He did a hair follicle test, whatever, bullshit. And according to VADA and everybody involved, Nevada State Athletic Commission, they said he passed that. And then he's doing VADA testing. So, I mean, until he fails again or something, then You just got to let that shit ride. Just like I don't remember like Luis Ortiz. That motherfucker failed 2 drug tests. I like Luis Ortiz as a fighter, but this is the reality. He failed 2 drug tests at 2 different years. You know what I mean? And he still fought Deontay Wilder, a title shot. So Canelo being this huge cash cow, this huge A side, having failed one, again, I'm not condoning cheating. I don't think, I mean, it'd be better if you failed no drug test. You know what I mean? But it's the sport we were in. Like I said, Luis Ortiz failed 2 in 2 separate years for 2 separate or 3 different things. The last time with the Wilder fight in November, it was 2 different things that were banned, and then the first time with Latif Coyote, it was one substance that was different from the Wilder failed test, and he fought for a title. So do you honestly think Canelo's not going to be back, like, you know what I mean, allowed to fight ever again? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be realistic with this shit. And frankly, I didn't hear a lot of people just like, oh yeah, Wilder versus Ortiz, that's a good fight. People kind of got over it really quick because Canelo's a face of boxing. People are like, oh, he's ranked and this is not fair. I mean, Margarito was cheating and he fought Pacquiao for a title. So I mean, it's boxing. Triple G is fucking up his reputation not fighting mandatories. Hey, like I said, tough decision for Mr. Triple G and his team. They're gonna have to decide what they want to do. But listen, Canelo holds all the keys because listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, and like I said, people could ego, you have an agenda and all this stupid shit. But when it comes to the hot seat, they're not here to battle. They don't want to battle. They just remain quiet. So I'm just gonna say my point. If someone has a hot seat battle, we can do it. But this is why it's going to be bad for Triple G is because he's banking on one real fight. He can't make the type of money he can make with anybody but Canelo. And there's equal or greater dangers in that fucking division for him. If you look at his age and his style, not really age because Floyd Mayweather and Bernard Hopkins fought to a late age. Juan Manuel Marquez fought to a late age. But Triple G's style plus his age plus how he's looked in his last 2 fights. RTD, shout out to my dude. He said, "What up, Ego? Ready for a mad night of boxing?" I know it's so much boxing. As for Triple G, they were so bothered about money. Would they would they not have worked harder to increase his stock? Derevyanchenko's gonna fight for the IBF strap next versus I don't know whoever the IBF rules. IBF be having weird people in their rankings, like at least at welterweight in some of the divisions I've seen. I even heard of some of these motherfuckers, and they be ranked. But then guys like Danny Garcia won't be ranked with the IBF for Sean Porter, or they won't be ranked high. And then some dude like Yaki Gaddafi, like who the fuck is that? Outlaws, motherfucker. Edie Amin, Mussolini. I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? Edie Amin's ranked, and Yafi Gaddafi, and all these Napoleon. All these other motherfuckers is ranked. Um, but middleweight, I think their middleweight rankings are cool. I think it's Daniel Jacobs. Their top 5 is like Daniel Jacobs, Boo Boo Andre, Derevyanchenko. I don't know who else, to be honest. I'd have to look. But I think it's guys like that. So their middleweight rankings are actually good. He can't fight the mandatories because they are very losable fights. He has to do Canelo, get some bread, and get out of here. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, y'all don't even know. Y'all can listen, and this is what I love about old media, because old media they be some idiots. You know what I mean? Like they're willing to. It's like some Titanic, like the band in Titanic. They're just willing to go down with the ship. Like they see what the fuck I'm saying, what I'm talking about, and knowing I'm making good points with what I'm saying, but they'll just act like they don't see it and still keep arguing the opposite. So have at it. Enjoy. I know what I'm saying to be accurate. The proof is in the pudding. The fans know. So you could try to cover for Team Triple G and act like these aren't realities, but it only hurts your reputation. It don't hurt mine, because like I said, at the end of the day, what's done in the dark comes to light. So you know what I mean. The fans will ultimately see, and they'll see who was right, and then when the smoke clears, we'll see who's still here. What channels are still here getting views and growing, getting super chats, and then what channels was full of bullshit and grow at a snail's pace. People like that real. You know what I mean? If you have an agenda, you might if you have an agenda so bad, like where you can't be honest, you're better off not even talking about that topic. To be honest, because the world knows, the world knows what it is. Anyway, Triple G, this is why it's just a tough spot that he's in. I've said it for weeks, months, year. The walls are closing in. Just hear me out and listen to what I'm saying. The walls are closing in for the simple fact is it's work all around Triple G, like tough work, difficult fights, fights where people are intrigued by and controversial. But only one of those fights is a mega fight where he's going to get this type of money, and that's Canelo Alvarez, and that's what we all know. Now, he can't afford to get another belt stripped because if you were trying to get 50-50 with all the belts that you've had since since your rise or your reign or whatever as a middleweight, and then the IBF stripped you, and if you let any of these other belts strip you, then you lose even more power, more bargaining chips, more leverage. So he can't do that. So it's like he almost has to fight Canelo because it'll be the most lucrative, and fighting Canelo will spare the WBC from ordering the Charlo fight and or stripping you if you don't fight Canelo. You know what I mean? And I don't think his team wants to fight There's me. I don't think they want to fight Charlo for less money. You know what I mean? And like this, my thing is this: business is business. I run a small business. Trust me, I'm in Vegas right now. Look, like I understand business. Motherfucker, I am a business. But the thing is, it a business like have you ever went into a store like Best Buy or Walmart, and then you go to their let's say Walmart, because Walmart's pretty shitty, but they got deals. Walmart, if you go on their customer service, they'll have like a blue sign with white writing, and it'll be like their mission statement, and it'll usually have a picture of the store manager or the highest person in charge or the number to the district manager, whatever, in the customer service department. So if you go to Walmart and it reveals Walmart's mission statement, and it says our mission is to please our patrons and our customers, and make sure they receive the best possible timely service, and it's listing all this shit, and you shop at Walmart and they're not doing and fulfilling any of this shit on the mission statement, then you're gonna be like, what the fuck? That you're not really about what you said you were about. You said you're about making it a pleasurable shopping experience, but every time I come in here, it's like hell. There's only one cash register open. Woom, woom, woom. So I understand business, but I also understand transparency. The thing where Triple G's team, in my opinion, messed up is they weren't transparent. They led the public to believe that Triple G and their plight was about something that has been proven to be false. We'll fight anyone from 154 to 168. And the reason I'm saying that's false is because you haven't fought no one at 54 to 68. And then when opportunities arise to fight an Andre Ward, to fight a Gilberto Zuro Ramirez, whether Triple G would beat him or not, you haven't taken those opportunities. Yet you wanted to take Carl Froch, you wanted to take Chavez Jr. But then Floyd Mayweather said, they said something, oh, Triple G wants to fight you. And he was like, well, I got a fighter. I got a TMT fighter. His name is Badu Jack. So Badu Jack, when he was at 168, Floyd recommended that you fight him, not a peep. So how can I believe that you really wanted to get work at 54 and 68, yet in the last 5 years you haven't fought no one at those weights? Zoro Ramirez, Bob Arum, I have the tweet. I saved this type of stuff because I know I'll need it for some of y'all dumbasses later. Bob Arum on his verified Twitter tweeted when Canelo first failed a drug test and it was looking like the fight was canceled. I don't even think the fight had officially been canceled in the rematch. Bob Arum's verified account on Twitter tweeted that Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez will accept that offer, will accept a fight with Triple G right now, and he's fighting, and I mean he's getting ready to fight right now. So he would have just started his training camp probably a little bit sooner. I ain't hearing nothing about Triple G's team. And then on top of that, they choose a 154 pounder. So to me, that move alone proved that you want to fight in lieu of Canelo failing. You want to fight the easier option, collect the easier payday, and not risk the Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? Because why wouldn't you take someone more difficult? You already fought Daniel Jacobs. Why wouldn't you fight Derevyanchenko? Because you think Derevyanchenko is perhaps too too big of a risk to fight. But hey, I mean, if you want greatness, like you know what, I'm gonna tell y'all. That's why I respect Dillian White and Joseph Parker, right? Because that's a good fight and it's a dangerous fight for both of them. Joseph Parker just lost his belt to AJ, and pushed him to 12 rounds, the first person to do that. So shout out to him. And Dillian White got knocked out by AJ. But Dillian White's on the cusp of maybe getting a title shot with a rematch with AJ now that he's champion, or a Deontay Wilder shot. You know what I mean? He's kind of on the verge of that. Like, so by them fighting each other, it's a risk because another loss would kick him back down the ladder. You know what I mean? Joseph Parker was just a champion one fight ago. So you could say, you could argue that he's right in the range of getting, because there's only so many like top fighters. Like heavyweight division's an easy division to see who's who. We know the top three heavyweights right now. Um, the absolute top tier are Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury. It's clear to see. Now, there's other people who are like kicking down the door. Gerald Big Baby Miller, Dillian White, Joseph Parker. They're in the tier just below that. And then below that would be the guys who could be the future of the heavyweight division. The Joe Joyces, the Daniel Dubois, people like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's easy to see who's who right now in the current heavyweight. That whatever that FA dude, you know what I mean? Those are like the future guys. Luis Ortiz, I would put him in the he would be just underneath because he had a title shot, so he'd be in the same as like the Joseph Parker. But that, yeah, I forgot about him. So you got to give it up to guys like Dillian White and Joseph Parker because they're taking a risk if you think about it. Because if either of them loses, that's going to knock them back down and push them farther away from a big money fight or a title fight. And they're still taking the risk. Yet Golovkin doesn't want to take a risk with Derevyanchenko. You know what I'm saying? Who has like 14, 15 fights and has not ever fought anyone as good as himself, as good as Golovkin as a pro. So to me, that shows me something. That shows me that Triple G's team pretty much view him as too much of a risk. Like, if Abel believes all the stuff he says, like, oh, Golovkin, oh, he has a lot of fights left in him and stuff like that, then why not fight your mandatory? Keep your belts and be good. You know what I mean? Why would you fight Vondas? So to me, he obviously views him as a threat or too big of a risk. Here's another thing. See, and I'm gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. If y'all want me to hurt their feelings, if y'all want me to hurt their feelings, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? Y'all gotta smash the like button, man. I'm about to hurt their feelings. And I'm gonna expose the double standards that I'm talking about. If the fans want it. If y'all want me to hurt their feelings, just kind of get a hell yeah in the comment section. Tommy want to hear it. Nacho want to hear it. Okay. All right. So here it goes. I'm gonna hurt their feelings. This is what I know, like when people have an agenda, because they don't look at stuff in this perspective, and they never give the like certain people credit, right? A lot of times minorities and minority fighters or whatever. Tell me, tell me when I'm lying. So Deontay Wilder has been pushing. I have proof that he's been pushing for an Anthony Joshua fight about 2 years because I made a video about 2 years ago where he called him out, right? But nonetheless, at least 8 months, right? 8 months to a year. At the very least, you could say the last 6 months, it's been heavy on people's mind, right? Deontay Wilder has been pushing for a Joshua fight. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? Right? Who did he just fight last? Who did Wilder fight last? Tell me who Wilder's last opponent was. Exactly. Luis King Kong Ortiz, who is all wrong for a lot of heavyweights. In my opinion, he's one of the top guys that never became a top guy because he was avoided. Like, meaning he never became a champion because he wasn't afforded the opportunity because people knew he was dangerous. We all seen the Brian Jennings fight. That's my dude. But he did good in that fight. You know what I mean? And performances like that, who's going to want to fight him? That's why he had to fight Dave Allen, White Rhino, and Tony Thompson and Malik Scott after Wilder knocked him out already. You know what I'm saying? He had to fight the names like that in the division because who was trying to fight him, right? And Wilder just fought him. So the point being, and you seen why he was avoided because he almost had Wilder up out of there in round 7 or whatever after being dropped. So that proves my point even further. And guess what? Wilder still fucking fought him. So my point being, let me connect the dots for you. Luis Ortiz is exactly the type of fighter. Everyone says windmill Wilder and he's sloppy and all that. So Luis Ortiz is especially the type of fighter that you probably don't want to fight because he's a southpaw, he's technical, and he has power, and he can get on his toes and box. So that's a massive risk, exactly. It's a massive risk when you're trying to fight Joshua to fight a guy like that, especially if you're the guy who doesn't have the superior technique. You throw your punches wide. You know what I mean? You do whatever people say, windmill Wilder. That's not the style you really take on. But guess what? Wilder's a fucking dog from the South, and he doesn't care. He didn't give a fuck. And he was confident in his ability. So why doesn't Triple G and his team show that same level of confidence? ESPN, after all, said he's pound for pound number one. Nobody's saying Deontay Wilder's pound for pound number one. Wilder has one belt. Triple G at the time had four. So why does he need to fight Vanes? Tell me the decision-making process that would lead you to fight Vanes instead of your mandatory, which you didn't want to fight because you did want to fight Canelo next, which would ultimately lead to you being stripped of one of your titles and making you look like you lied or were hypocritical about wanting all the belts. So tell me why the Vanes Martirosyan fight was a must. Why it should have happened instead of Derevyanchenko. If, like I said, if he exuded the confidence that Dillian White and Brian Jennings have in their ability, that's a tough fight, and that's gonna knock the loser. It's gonna set him back. Wilder, he wanted Joshua, and he let Luis Ortiz get in the middle of that and had the potential to play spoiler. So why not fight Derevyanchenko? Please explain that. You know what I'm saying? There's certain guys, if you're like, even Amir Mom, keep Triple G out of the loss column. See, then they're not as confident as they project if they think he could possibly lose to Derevyanchenko. Because Derevyanchenko hasn't even proven anything on the elite level. No, y'all making excuses. Someone said it's the greedy promoter's ego. They fucking it up. Nope. It's the fighter because you chose that promoter and you chose to be with them. So you get the blame too. Especially a guy like Triple G, he makes money for his company. He's the biggest since Klitschko retired. He's the biggest person they have. So if his opinion has to mean something, if he didn't want to fight Varnes, then why didn't he storm into the office like, "Hey, no, Tom, no," and say something? You just went with the flow. You part of the problem. Period. So anyway, explain it. Explain why Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz knowing he wants Joshua. Because he was that confident that even though he told you in the press conference, he said, "Yeah, I want to fight him because they say he's the boogeyman. And I ain't never been afraid of the dark." He said something like that. "I ain't never been afraid of the boogeyman." And then he said, "I'm going to knock him out." And he knocked him out. So if Golovkin just said, like, "I want Canelo in September, so let me knock this Derevyanchenko dude out, show y'all how it's done. I'll handle that mandatory." But he didn't do that. He fought a 154 pounder. So to me, that just shows you. And I get it from a business perspective, because here's another example. Adrian Granados is a very good fighter, and he's not the type of person you want to really. He don't. It's hard to look good against certain guys like a Granados. You know what I'm saying? And Amir Mom, he was the mandatory for Victor Postal, and he fucked around and fought Granados, hurt him in like one of the first rounds, knocked him down or whatever, and then he fucked around and got stopped by Granados. So that was a horrible decision in the end because instead of if he would have fought like a cupcake anybody, somebody not as tough as Granados, not as good and durable as Granados, then he could have stayed sharp and then he would have got the Victor Postal fight. He would have been in line for the Victor Postal fight. So that's how these promoters and teams be thinking. They're like, "Nah, I don't even want to risk it." But like I said, boxing is a sport about risks. So sometimes you have to risk it. And I think to keep Triple G's mantra or whatever they said when they came in the game alive, they should have just fought Derevyanchenko because the spot was getting hot. Lou DiBella was standing up for his fighter, wasn't backing down. IBF is known for stripping motherfuckers. So, you know what I mean? I don't even understand why Vanas chose to fight. Or, like I told you, I don't just think of problems, I think of solutions. I told you guys, Golovkin didn't even have to fight on the Mexican dates. He really didn't. If once Canelo fucked it up, just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a rest. This is bullshit. I'm fucking mad at Canelo." And then just waited it out. But by choosing to fight on that date, he hit detonate on that virtual timer. Because now the IBF says, "Okay, we understand it's not your fault for the Canelo thing, but you now that you have to find someone else because you are insistent on fighting on that May 5th date, you're supposed to fight your mandatory because you was already supposed to fight him before I think Canelo. But we gave you a pass because we knew how big the Canelo Golovkin fight was. And then we knew the controversy from the first fight. So we gave you a pass to allow for the second fight to happen. You know what I mean? Because most sanctioning bodies, that's more money for them, most potentially, or more exposure being involved in a big fight. You know what I mean? But seeing how your option A didn't pan out, even though it's not your fault, now you have to go back to your regular obligations. You know what I mean? This is just simple shit, people. Like, like I used to work at a retail job, right? And if I have a shift that I was scheduled for, and then I switch shifts with the person, like a coworker, like, "Hey, can you work my Friday? I'm going to a baseball game," and we didn't do it like formally, and then that person didn't show up for my shift, then I would be in trouble for it. You get what I'm saying? I would be liable for that. So even though we made a verbal pact or whatever, we didn't go through the proper channels. So it kind of fell back on me. And that's kind of similar to what happened in the IBF. I understand that the Canelo flunking out of the drug test wasn't Triple G's fault, but since he insisted on fighting on that date, then his normal duties or mandatory obligations now go back into effect because everybody was going to step aside for. It's not hard to understand. Everybody was going to step aside for the Canelo mega fight, but seeing how Canelo damaged that fight and he had to withdraw from the fight, and you choose to keep fighting on that date, especially when you're looking at people like Jaime Munguia, who got denied from the Nevada State Commission, and then Vanas Matarosen, now your regular duties kick back in. Because your mandatory is sitting back like, yo, I was going to step aside for Canelo fights because that's boxing. You know what I mean? It's big for boxing. But I'm not trying to step aside so you can fight a 154-pounder who's coming off of a loss and a 2-year layoff. It's like really common sense. Like legit, picture if you were Derevyanchenko, you could be like, okay, it would be selfish of me to like not step aside for Canelo Triple G because the implications that have for the middleweight division, and I'll get a chance at some point. So I can understand being willing to wait in that you could just build your career and stuff like that. But then if that fight fell apart and the world's seen the whole chronological chain of events that happened after that, and then you see Triple G trying to fight Jaime Munguia, you see Triple G trying to fight Vanas Matarosa, and you're gonna be like, "Yo, I was willing to step aside for that for a mega fight, but I'm not trying to step aside so you can fight somebody who ain't even a middleweight. Give me my shot. I'll be ready." Period. I like how out of all the hungry active fighters out right now, they called Vanas. Called on Vanas. Yeah. Shaking my head. All right. I'm gonna body this dude. I'm gonna do a hot seat and I'm gonna go to sleep. His name is the Young Jedi. Listen. He says, bruh, ain't no one trying to mess up super millions over nothing and do something because a person is like, cause I say, get real. Okay. You in the hot seat. Because I just got finished giving you a perfect example. You just said no one's trying to mess up millions. You're a liar because I just gave you an example. Once again, not everyone thinks like that. I can understand some people would think like that from a business perspective, but I literally just finished giving you guys an example of somebody who took on a dangerous fight when they were on the verge or cusp of getting a mega millions fight. And then you leave that bullshit comment. You about to get bodied. I just told you, Deontay Wilder is this close to fighting Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? He's been getting close and close. He's been calling for it. He's wanting for it. The fans are wanting it. The pressures are mounting. And he fought Luis Ortiz, which was a very dangerous style fight and a very dangerous fighter for him, right? So you can't say no one's willing to fight and mess up mega millions because Deontay Wilder potentially he almost got stopped in round 7. You seen Luis Ortiz wasn't coming to play. Luis Ortiz got hurt in round 5, came back, got his bearings back, and caught with the right hand, which proves that the southpaw has power in both hands, and he hurt Wilder. And Wilder almost didn't make it out of the round, it looked like to me. And he had to bite down at that moment. He looked pretty wilted. So you can't say nobody would do it because Wilder just did it. That would have, man. What if Luis Ortiz knocked him out? You think Joshua was? Why would anyone fight Wilder if he doesn't have a belt? If he has all that power, he's wild like that. You know what I mean? At this point, why would Joshua fight him after? Look at him copping, please. He said it's hypothetical. How is Wilder versus Ortiz hypothetical when it happened on March 31st or March 3rd or whatever? Actually, Joshua Parker was on 31st. It was on March 3rd. How is that hypothetical, what I just said, when it's an actual fight that happened at the Barclays Center, March 3rd? You see how, you see what these dudes be doing? He says it's hypothetical now. Tell me how it's hypothetical when it's an actual fight. The scenario, I didn't say some imaginary scenario like, oh, if Wilder would have fought Tyson Fury. I gave you an actual fight that just happened a couple months ago. So please tell me how it's hypothetical. Ortiz was old, blocked. I'm sick of the bullshit. He said Ortiz was old and shot. Yeah, he was old and shot, but nobody had stopped him. He was undefeated. You guys are full of shit. Where you at, hot seat? Explain how it's hypothetical when I gave you an example in real time that just happened. So you can't say nobody. Listen, I'm about to. You have 10 seconds, bro, and then I'm about to block you. You said it was hypothetical, and I asked you, the young Jedi, old and shot, everyone avoiding him, fucking guys. Wilder stepped up and did what he does. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. These dudes look so desperate in their attempt to try to prove it wrong that it just makes them look crazier. He was old and shot, but he was undefeated, and everyone didn't want to. No one wanted to fight him. Joshua, that was his mandatory. He never fought him. Look, that's what I'm saying. Old and shot, but we have a boxing fan who says I think Ortiz would have beat AJ in my opinion. I made 2K on Wilder knocking out Luis Ortiz. I replied already. Ain't no one on this stream. I know you saw. Bro, I didn't see anything. I didn't see any response. AJ Wilder is hypothetical because it is not set in stone. Hey, let's vote. He says it's hypothetical because it's not set in stone. What are you talking about? Bro, you're totally lost. My point has nothing to do with just Wilder. John, I said that Wilder's on the verge of getting an AJ fight, and he took on a dangerous fight. So what are you saying? AJ Wilder hasn't happened, so it's hypothetical. That has literally nothing to do with what I'm talking about. That's an easy L. You don't. That doesn't even make sense. I said Wilder's on the verge of getting a fight that would be real lucrative in a career high payday. And in the middle of that, he took on a very dangerous option in Luis King Kong Ortiz. That's the point. So it doesn't matter if Joshua Wilder has happened at this moment or not. It's close to potentially happening. But beyond that is he wants to get that payday. He wants to get that mega fight with Joshua, and he took on a dangerous guy. So the fans voted you off. That was some easy ass work. Whatever's, homie. You brought up Wilder AJ. Bro, you know you lost. Get out of here. Blocked. Blocked. The fans voted you off. You see how easy this shit is? He said, whatever, homie. You know you lost that. Once again, I'm going to reiterate my point. Deontay Wilder wants to fight Joshua. That's a big money fight for all parties involved, Joshua and Wilder. It'll probably be their career high paydays for both. Fuck that, it will be their career high paydays for both. The bottom line is Wilder, knowing he wants to fight Joshua, he didn't fight Dominic Brazil, someone he would be even like more heavily favored to beat. He didn't fight like a guy, Steve Cunningham or somebody. Like he fought a dangerous out, a dangerous option. You guys can make whatever dumbass excuses you want, saying that Luis Ortiz was 1,000 years old, he was shot. Nobody believes you. If he was so shot, then why didn't Dillian White fight him? Why is he fighting Joseph Parker? Why didn't Eddie Hearn make The WBC or I can listen. I feel like one of those martial arts movies. I used to love watching those, like Shaolin, the crane. I feel like one of those OG like martial artists in the movies that are masters at their craft. Once again, why didn't the WBC order Dillian White versus Luis Ortiz? Why didn't he fight him? Why is he fighting Joseph Parker? If Luis Ortiz was old and shot before Wilder got to him, then he should really be old and shot since he got knocked out and knocked down a gang of times by Wilder. So why didn't Dillian White fight him? That's his WBC mandatory. Dillian White says he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. Why didn't Eddie Hearn make that? See, you guys can't win because no one believes you. Somebody answer that real quick. Why is Dillian White fighting Joseph Parker instead of fighting the guy the WBC told him to fight to become a number one mandatory for the guy he's been calling out, Deontay Wilder? Why didn't Eddie Hearn make that? If Wilder fought an old and shot Luis Ortiz and then he knocked him out and knocked him down a gang of times, then why didn't Dillian White take that? That should be an easier option than a Joseph Parker who's never been knocked out and just lost in a crafty performance versus Joshua. Why would you fight Joseph Parker then? Because you fucking know that Luis Ortiz is super heavy risk. You can make more money with Joseph Parker and get respect and get more money, and he's probably not as dangerous. These motherfuckers can't fuck with me, and y'all know it. It's that simple. You talking about old and shot? Yeah, he's shot, but no one wants to give him a shot. Bars. I say he shot, he old and shot, but no one want to give him a shot. Wilder's the one that stepped up, said, "I'll give you that work. I'll be your Huckleberry." Like I said, the reason Dillian White's not fighting him because Eddie Hearn's not trying to make that fight. Even though Dillian White says he wants to fight Deontay Wilder because he knows he'll get good money out of that and a chance at a title. You know what I mean? Maybe Dillian White would fight Luis Ortiz. I don't know. He seems like a dog, but Eddie Hearn ain't trying to make that. You know why? Because Eddie Hearn has a fight by fight contract with him, and he like fuck that. Why would I make Luis Ortiz when Dillian White's gonna get less money in that fight? I'm gonna get less money in that fight, and it's a more risky fight for Dillian White than Joseph Parker. And on that note, I'm out. I gotta go to the boxing gym. These young boys can't beat me, so I'm gonna get some sleep. Yeah, I mean, it's clear to see that these dudes be full. TC the crisis. He know he be a regular in these streams. He know what it is. You talking about Luis Ortiz is old and shot, but nobody wants to give him an opportunity. That anybody with something to lose, like a champion, other than Deontay Wilder, nobody wants to give this man a shot. No one wants to give him a shot. If someone who's on the cusp, the verge of a title shot and or a champion or something, or Joseph Parker, I didn't see him when he was a champion making calls to Luis Ortiz. Wilder is the only one. Anthony Joshua, that was his mandatory. And Luis Ortiz was with Matchroom for a couple of fights. And I never see no talks of serious talks of making that fight. Gerald Miller was like supposed to be in talks for Luis Ortiz, and it fell apart because everyone knows that Luis Ortiz is like a difficult style to deal with, and you ain't gonna get maximum bread. So why would promoters and trainers and guys want to go that route? AJ, oh, that's a good point. Someone said Eddie Hearn signed Ortiz to keep him away from AJ. Man, these vampire streams, I'm still killing y'all. But I'm gonna get some sleep, pack it in because I want to be fresh for tomorrow. A lot of boxing, and then not before the fights. I'm going to the boxing gym to get some footage for y'all. I'll be at the Mayweather gym and another gym most likely. So peace out, y'all.